Hello, friends. We're delighted you could join us today. We are Tamara and Twila, mother-daughter team. We have a small shop just south of Lawrence, Kansas, and we teach several classes. And we love meeting with you every week to chat a little bit about what we're thinking about, what's going on seasonally, and hopefully share some ideas that you find interesting or useful.
We're happy you could join us. We're always happy to see your comments.
Yes, we appreciate it when you can like, comment, and share. That helps our algorithm out a lot, and it helps our very small shop so that other people can find out about us too, so we can keep our doors open.
And if you have any suggestions, certainly let us know.
Yes, please do.
Yes. This week, friends came to visit from Nebraska.
Yeah.
And I had not seen my friend for ages and ages and ages. And we've been friends for 70 years.
And I know her daughter. I grew up with her daughter, and so they both came, and it was such a delight to reconnect.
We had a wonderful time, and it's just one of those friendships where we can just pick up right where we left off. We graduated the same year. We went to church school together and all those things. So we had a lot to visit about, and it was wonderful to see her again.
Yeah, it really was.
It's important to touch base with friends whenever we possibly can, and sometimes distance and age and everything else keeps us apart, but we always can connect with emails or such, but getting together in person is always just fabulous.
It is. There's something really special about gathering in person,
Yes.
and so important to make sure that we're keeping our connections with friends that feed our spirit. So
Yes.
it's great to see
And
them.
the hugs are good too.
Oh, for sure.
And this week I'm looking ahead a little bit. I'm going to plan to make fruitcake.
Oh.
Now, not everybody's a lover of fruitcake. I did not grow up with fruitcake. I just figured out that I kind of liked it after a friend in Kansas City, when we lived there, introduced me to it. They lived in Germany. So she had a wonderful recipe for a white fruitcake, which means it's not bitter. There's no bitterness to it or anything else, as there is sometimes in fruitcakes with the use of citron. And this recipe I have used again and again and again. And the recipe appears in my book, also in the November section, if any of you are interested. It seems to be an old-fashioned thing these days, but it's something that makes the holidays for me.
Yeah.
And I have one grandson that likes it. So between him and I, we kind of like our fruitcake.
I nibble on it too. It's pretty yummy.
It's not a favorite thing, though.
Not probably a favorite, no.
Fruitcake is good to set for 6 weeks in the refrigerator beforehand.
Amazing.
And I do a little rum sauce on top, which makes it even
yummy.
So we're in the period of darkness.
Yes, we are. Every day gets a little bit shorter. Every night gets a little bit longer. And the growing and the harvesting seasons have ended, of course. And so we're entering the season of rest and reflection. And like the plants, it's a good time for us to pull our energies inward, to allow ourselves time to seek out our own inner wisdom, to go to bed early, to spend more time dreaming. And we have a couple of teas that we like to use and we like to share with others to help with that. And one of those is our sleep tea, which helps to just relax so that your body can let go and release into sleep. Sometimes I think we get that anxiety and that monkey mind. And there's one herb in there called skullcap that really can excel at helping to quell that monkey mind. I find for myself, that's one of the things that keeps me from going to sleep is, sometimes I don't shut down the electronics as early as I ought to. And I'm watching TV maybe too late. I really am trying to get better about, instead of watching TV, turning the TV off and reading a book and shutting all the electronics down earlier so I don't have that blue light on my eyes, which makes it harder to go to sleep and such too. And fixing myself a cup of sleep tea. I'm really trying to make that more of a ritual, a nighttime ritual, so that I can fall asleep. And I know a lot of people love that our sleep tea, and some people come in just for the sleep tea and really appreciate that it helps them to fall asleep more easily. And then we have another tea that also people come in just for this tea, and we call it our dream work tea. It's also great for meditation or any kind of otherworldly work that you want to do in your life, that, any kind of journaling or inward seeing, those types of things. And so that has oat straw and blue vervain and skullcap also. Again, mullein actually can help with dreaming, and passion flower. And both of these have more herbs than those in them as well. But one I wanted to talk about in the Dreamwork tea is blue vervain, because blue vervain is really an interesting herb. It's actually a native here in the Midwest. It's said to have a balancing effect on our mood and on our nervous and digestive systems. And in herbalism, it's been used to treat headaches and insomnia. So it's great to have in a Dreamwork tea. And it was said to be sacred to the Druids, who used it to increase awareness while both awake and during sleep. And we've had some customers who've gotten the Dreamwork tea and have had just amazing experiences with it. And so we always love hearing about what people experience with our tea blends, and especially tea blends like this that are really for a specific purpose. It's to be sleep and dream enhancing. And blue vervain is said to both enhance sleep and dreams, and it's also said to help protect against bad dreams, which I think is really wonderful. And of course, if you want to blend your own teas, we hope that you will join us for our 10-month home herbalist apprenticeship program that's open for enrollment now. It's a hybrid program. Lessons are online, but we send you physical items. We send you a box every month with herbs, herbal kits, and handouts that are relevant to the things that we are teaching that month. It's a very seasonal program. And so blending your own teas is one of the things that we actually begin with in January, because January we're working with the dried herbs because nothing is really growing in January. And so that's how we begin our program. And we hope that you will join us. If you have any questions about the program, please do let us know. We want to help people gain skills and confidence to use herbs in your life every day.
It's a good program.
It's
we
a
get
fantastic
a lot
program.
of good feedback on it.
Yeah, we've had the term life changing. We've
used a lot.
Used a lot, which we love that because that's our goal is to really help empower people.
Well, this time of year, as all year probably, I look out and I see turkeys every now and then. But this time of the year, I seem to notice them more and more. I am one who calls the animals in. And so during the deer season, when it's hunting out here, I call the deer in and tell them they have a protection around my 10 acres of woods and lake that they can hide away at if they want to. And I do the same with the turkeys. And we have one lone turkey that has been visiting our property for quite some time. And I figure she is a female. And she just kind of has an affinity for our place up in this neck of the woods. Anyway, and I just love seeing her, and I talk to her. I write about her in my book also in the November chapter. And it kind of put me on a little quest if I started looking for a few turkey collectibles. Now, I'm not one to collect a lot. Not at this stage of my life. I don't want a lot. But there are a couple things that have always intrigued me. And they were the plates with the turkeys on them. And you see them about this time of the year in the antique shops.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful. And they're usually beautiful china. And this is the first one that I had collected. It is Spode china. It's from England. And I did find it in an antique shop in Kansas City, and it's just called Turkey, which is apropos. It's a beautiful plate with transferware on the edges, and I have this sitting up in a big old bookcase of mine, and it just looks really neat there, and I see it often. And then next week I'll share my pride and joy with me. It is quite something to see, but this is the turkey season, so, I'm not one to really eat turkey or anything else like that, but I just love my turkey plates.
Yeah, we have really gained a real affinity for turkeys when we watch the PBS. There's a PBS program called Nature, if you're familiar with it. It's an amazing program. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but one of their episodes was on turkeys. And, I wouldn't think that turkeys would be that interesting to learn about, but they were fascinating. And so I'll try and find a link. And if I can find a link to that program, I'll put it below, because it's a really fun one to watch by yourself. Or if you have kids or grandkids, it's a really wonderful one to sit down and listen to about this guy who just started learning about turkeys. And it's a beautiful, they're really amazing creatures.
The one thing I didn't realize, I had not seen turkeys in my growing up years ever. Not out in, the prairie and nowhere. They were almost extinct because of overhunting. And now they have made a comeback. In the last probably 30, 40 years, they have made a comeback. And if you drive down any country road, most often you can see in the morning or the evening, you can see a whole flock of turkeys.
Which is amazing.
They are amazing big birds to see.
And during the mating season, you really get lucky if you see like the males with the feathers all spread out. They're just incredibly beautiful.
They are. So that's one thing I kind of liked at this time of the year. I pay more attention to the turkeys out there and my turkey plates and everything else.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time of year as we are entering into the darker time of the year.
And you have a poem that you were going to read.
Yes.
And I have that in my book also.
Yes, so and this is by Clyde Watson. And it says, we're kind of in the middle of November, so I thought it might be appropriate for now because November comes and November goes. It goes by faster than we like. With the last red berries and the first white snow, with night coming early and dawn coming late, and ice in the bucket and frost by the gate, the fires burn and the kettles sing, and earth sinks to rest until next spring.
And with that, we'll sign off and we'll see you next week.
Good earth blessings to you.